Hello guys, welcome back to my channel, and for those new viewers, welcome to my channel. Once again I apologise for the delay in videos as always, but I actually have been away. I've been in California for 2.5 weeks, doing a bit of a road trip. We started in LA, up the Pacific Coast Highway to Santa Barbara, then to Monterey and San Francisco, then to Nevada, and finally San Diego, where we finished up. But it was an amazing time, but obviously due to being out there I've not had any time with the RS. But I got back on, when did I get back? Sunday. I hadn't driven this for a couple of weeks, so getting back in the car was amazing. I really missed it. It gave me like a new appreciation for just how good the car is. Because whilst in America we hired this huge Chrysler Pacifica minivan thing, so after driving that, this feels like a complete rocket ship. So anyway, as you can probably see, the sky and the sunshine, it's a beautiful day here in England. It's been good because I've got back from holiday, and since I've been back the sun has been shining. It's been wonderful. So I thought I did promise I'd do a video on the car in relation to the drive mode. So I thought today I'd cover sport mode, just a comparison between sport mode and normal mode, and just show you what it actually does with the exhaust, what it sounds like when you start it and rev it, and what it sounds like when you're driving away, and how it feels in the car as well. So we'll cover that today. So what we'll do, I'll set the camera up. Well, I've already set the camera up, as you can see, behind the car, and I'll start it up in normal mode, and I'll do a few revs just so you can hear what the exhaust sounds like, and then we'll stick it into sport mode, and then we'll do the same again. So let's jump in. Start her up. The default setting is normal mode, so the car will be in normal. Let's give it a few revs. So I do actually get a few pops anyway. So that was normal mode. As you could probably hear, it does pop in normal mode as well, just not as much. I think some cars don't make any noise at all, they don't pop at all, but mine, you do get a few pops and stuff in normal mode, which is quite nice, because it is slightly more fuel efficient. But if you want to have a quick hoon and not waste as much fuel, you still get a few pops as well. Anyway, let's put it into sport mode. So to put it in sport mode, you need to press the drive mode selection button. So press that, then you get that come up on the screen. Then you need to scroll right into sport, then press OK. This will open up the exhaust valve now, and let's see what that sounds like. So as you can probably hear, in sport mode, you get a significant amount of more pops, more popping and sort of banging. Now I have to reiterate that they sound much better in reality, as I've already said in the previous video. On film they sound very tinny, just don't sound anywhere near as good, but in real life they do sound a lot deeper and a lot better. And if you were stood around the back of the car and you weren't expecting it, it would probably make you jump. So yeah, you just have to kind of add kind of 10 to the wow factor when you're watching it, because it does sound much better. So what we'll do now, I'll set the camera up again and I'll drive up the road, and you'll be able to hear normal mode and then sport mode. So as you could probably hear, it's only a quick drive-away video, but still a couple of pops in normal mode. But in sport mode, the second time I passed, a lot more pops. It's a lot noisier. Right, so we're back in normal mode. We're going to have a little drive up the road, and I'll just explain what it does when you go into sport mode. So at the minute, the exhaust valve, there's one exhaust valve on the left hand tailpipe. So if you're standing at the back, the tailpipe to the left, there's a valve in there. That valve should be closed when it's in normal mode. So essentially most of your noise is coming out of the other tailpipe. That's why that tailpipe is often more sooty than the one on the left. So we'll have a little pull up this road, do a few little differentiation, a few different revs. We're getting sort of one pop when I let off the accelerator, about 3,500 revs. Nothing there. Little pop there. So it's quite subdued. You get the odd pop here and there, but nothing too major. What we'll do is I'll spin around and then we shall go into sport mode whilst driving along. So we're going to second gear. I'll keep my foot on the accelerator and we'll go across into sport mode. Immediately the car lurches forward. More pops. Just pops on demand then. Just literally take full throttle to 3.5, anywhere sort of past 3.5, and you'll get the pops. What I like is if you floor it in second and then change gear near the red line, you get about 5 consecutive pops. Yeah, so the car, when you go in sport mode, the car, the throttle mapping becomes more responsive, and the car will sort of lurch forward slightly, and it's just a lot more responsive on the accelerator. So the slightest kind of touch and the car wants to go. So it's just a bit more eager on the power. Now supposedly the steering stiffens up as well. I haven't really noticed much with the steering, I must admit, but it's quite nice and weighted anyway. As it is, but I'm sure it does do something, but it's just not something that I've really noticed. But other than that, other than your exhaust, your steering and your throttle, there's nothing else that it does. There's no additional power. Fuel consumption will go down when you're on sport mode. I'm guessing it overfuels slightly just so you get the pops and the crackles. I'm currently on 20.7 mpg, which is absolutely horrendous, but I don't drive this slowly, that's all I'm going to say. This does get driven as it was supposed to. So yeah, fuel consumption isn't great. But when I get in the car, my default setting is literally sport mode, traction control off, or into traction control in sport mode, and then I'm off, I'm away. And I will happily drive in that all day long. Suspension doesn't change, by the way, in sport mode. That remains the same stiffness as it does in normal mode, which is quite stiff, but it's more than manageable. So yeah, that's it. Just a quick video, really, just demonstrating sport mode. I hope it's given you a bit of an insight into what it actually does, for those of you that aren't sure. Next video, we'll go into some other modes. Hopefully we can look at drift mode, and I'll try and find somewhere suitable, and I'll just explain what drift mode does, how drift mode feels to drive, and see if I can get some external shots of the car behaving drift-like, should I say. So yeah, just a quick one, just to get back into things, but thank you very much for tuning in, and I've got over 1,500 subscribers now, which is absolutely awesome, so thank you very much. I did mention last time that I was doing a video with an M3 and an M140i. That's been done, that's all been shot. Neil from Road and Race, he has the footage, he's editing it up as we speak, and the video is going to go on his channel. because he's had more time to get it all sorted, and to be fair, we use most of his equipment. But yeah, should be quite an interesting video. What I will say is the M140, I've got a text message, the M140i is rapid. It's a really quick car, but I won't say anything else. You'll have to watch the video. Anyway guys, thanks again for tuning in. Until next time, which hopefully won't be too long, take care and I'll see you soon.